pi3g, software for the moments that define you. The following is an AI-generated podcast about this presentation which I created about our company and what software development and AI services we offer, with a special twist. The slide which was selected to be presented to you during this presentation was also selected by AI using something called embeddings. I wish you a lot of entertainment, and while you're watching whether the AI is picking the correct slide or not, as you'll find, in most cases it does a pretty decent job, and this for me is pure magic. Now, without further ado, let's start the presentation, let's roll it, and stay tuned for a little message at the end from my side.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really digging into a software development company called pi3g. Our mission really is for you, the listener, to pull out the most important bits about, their unique way of doing things and what they actually offer. We want you to quickly get what makes them different and where they really shine. Okay, so let's unpack this. The first thing that really jumped out at me from this material isn't just what they build, but how they actually do business. And the promises they make, they're pretty bold.
Exactly. Yeah, these aren't just, bullet points on a website. These are foundational principles. They really seem designed to set them apart in what's, let's face it, a very crowded market. They're not just listing services. They're sort of defining the whole client relationship, building it on certainty, on trust.
Yeah.
That's quite a differentiator.
Yeah, it really is. And the first big one is this pricing model, 100% fixed pricing. Now, in an industry where scope creep and surprise costs are almost expected, how hard is it for a company like pi3g to actually stick to that, a genuinely fixed price? What does that take internally?
Oh, it's incredibly challenging. Make no mistake. But think about the flip side. For the client, it's incredibly empowering. Normally you're dealing with budget blowouts, endless haggling over change orders because maybe the scope wasn't perfectly nailed down.
Right. The classic scenario.
Exactly. So pi3g saying fixed price means they have to do intense upfront planning. They have to commit to a really precise scope and delivery before writing a line of code. It shifts all that financial risk, all that uncertainty onto them. So you, the client, get a number. You know the total cost. You can confidently say yes or no.
And no awkward conversations with your boss later about needing more budget.
Precisely. That alone is a massive weight off your shoulders. It's a huge differentiator.
Okay, and then they pile on something else pretty remarkable, a 100% money-back guarantee.
Yeah.
I was going to say. The document actually says, and I'm quoting here, if your boss is dissatisfied, you will get the money back for them. That sounds, completely no risk for the client. You just don't see that often.
No, you really don't. And what's fascinating here is, like you said, how it just flips the whole risk dynamic. The risk is entirely on pi3g to deliver, to make sure not just you, but your boss is happy. It's not just marketing fluff. It's a massive statement about how confident they are in their work and how committed they are to making sure the client succeeds. It builds, a huge amount of trust right from the start.
And there's one more piece to this guarantee puzzle, the lifetime bug warranty. So if a bug pops up later in code they actually wrote, they fix it. For free, forever. When you think about the long-term costs of software, that's quite something.
It really is. It speaks volumes about their focus on long-term reliability. I mean, think about the total cost of ownership for software. This drastically reduces it. You're not just buying a solution for launch day. You're essentially ensuring its stability way down the line without worrying about unexpected maintenance bills for their bugs. It's like an investment in quality that lasts.
Okay, so we've talked about how pi3g operates these really strong guarantees. But what kind of problems can they actually help you solve? Let's dig into their main areas of expertise. The material lists AI projects, software development, and consulting.
Right, and the breadth there is pretty striking. It shows they're not just, a one-trick pony focused on one tiny niche. They seem equipped to handle a pretty wide range of complex tech challenges, always with that client-first approach we just talked about.
That flexibility seems key. Okay, let's dive into the AI projects first. The document breaks this down further into three main buckets: LLMs and generative AI, then vision AI, and finally, sensors plus prediction. Starting with LLMs and Gen AI. They mentioned tackling really common frustrations, like teams just drowning in emails, Slack messages, documents, where important stuff gets missed. How does Gen AI help there?
Yeah, that's a pain point many people feel. For that, Gen AI can basically be trained to sift through all that noise. It can extract key information, summarize long threads, even personalize content streams for different people.
So cutting through the clutter.
Exactly. And another problem they highlight is, say, a small team may be missing out on opportunities because they just can't keep track of everything happening in their market. For that, they use something called agentic AI.
Agentic AI, okay, what's that exactly? How does that work?
So agentic AI is kind of the next step. The AI isn't just responding to your prompts. It can actually plan and execute tasks over multiple steps more autonomously. Think of it like a digital assistant that proactively scouts for sales leads, or tracks market trends, or monitors RFPs, requests for proposals, while you're busy doing other things. It acts even when you're not directly telling it to.
Interesting. And what about older systems? They mentioned core systems, maybe 15 years old, that nobody likes using.
Right, the legacy problem.
Yeah.
LLMs can act as a kind of friendly front end. You can interact with those clunky old tools using natural language, just chatting or even speaking, making them way more approachable without needing a total overhaul.
Okay, what's under the hood? What's powering these AI solutions? What's in their Gen AI toolbox, as they call it?
Well, their toolbox seems pretty well stocked. They use the big names, like GPT-4 and Claude, but also important open source models like Llama 3 and 4 and Phi. That's smart, because it means they can choose the right tool for the job, balancing cost, privacy concerns, and performance needs. They're not locked into one provider. They also use key techniques like array, that's retrieval augmented generation. It helps the AI pull in specific current information from your company documents when answering questions.
Ah, so it's not just making stuff up or hallucinating.
Exactly. It uses your actual data.
Hmm.
And they mention things like LoRa and QLoRa for fine-tuning models. That means they can tailor an AI model to your specific needs, your unique data, without needing, supercomputer levels of power. Plus, agentic AI frameworks like LangGraph, AutoGen, CrewAI, and standard libraries like LangChain and Llama Index.
Gotcha. Okay, moving to the next AI area, vision AI. They talk about problems like in-store theft. How does computer vision help there?
So for theft detection, they use what's called behavior-based anomaly detection. The vision AI analyzes video feeds, not just looking for specific items, but for unusual patterns of movement or action. It can flag suspicious behavior early, allowing staff to intervene. And for improving customer experience, vision AI can enable really frictionless interactions.
Like what?
Like, imagine walking into a venue or store, and your ID is verified, you get access, maybe even billed, all seamlessly without needing to pull out a card or scan your phone. It makes things much smoother.
And what about manufacturing? Cost pressures, quality control on fast lines?
Yeah, that's a huge application. Vision AI for automated defect detection. It can spot known flaws, but also, crucially, unexpected defects in real time, much faster and more consistently than a person could.
They mention a cats and dogs example. What's that about?
Right, that sounds a bit fun, but it's likely their way of demonstrating how their AI can spot anomalies, things that don't belong. And maybe more importantly, how they test the AI to understand its limits when it might be wrong. It shows they're realistic about deploying AI, not just promising magic.
Makes sense. What technologies are they using for vision AI?
Their toolbox there includes things like YOLOF 8 and YOLON-AS. Those are very popular fast object detection models. RoboFlow, which helps manage and label the visual data needed to train the AI. OpenCV, a standard library for computer vision tasks. They also mention more advanced things like LFA, which combines vision and language understanding, Vision Transformers, VIT, for complex pattern recognition, and even JAN's generative adversarial networks, which can be used for creating synthetic training data or enhancing images, plus basics like pose estimation, object tracking, OCR, and so on.
Okay, third AI category, sensors and prediction. They talk about demand chaos, trying to balance stock levels. How does AI help predict demand?
Well, it's about finding subtle patterns. AI can analyze historical sales data, supply chain info, maybe even external factors like weather or holidays, to create much smarter forecasts. This helps fine-tune procurement, so you avoid running out of stock during spikes, but also don't end up with warehouses full of unsold goods. And they tackle a really big one, system downtime, unexpected equipment failure.
Right, that can cost a fortune.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
They mention predictive maintenance, using sensor AI, analyzing data from sensors on machinery, looking for tiny changes in vibration, temperature, current draw, things that signal a potential failure before it happens. The document gives an example figure, €10,000 per unexpected machine stop. Preventing even a few of those adds up incredibly quickly.
Huge savings. And what about energy costs? They mentioned that too.
Yeah, skyrocketing energy bills. Sensor AI can be used to hunt down inefficiencies, maybe identifying specific machines that are drawing too much power, finding peak load times that could be managed better, or even spotting phantom power usage.
Phantom power.
Yeah, energy being consumed when devices are supposedly off or idle. It
Yeah.
just vanishes. They cite a case where 15% of energy was just gone. AI helped find it. So again, significant operational cost savings.
What kind of tools are involved in making sensor predictions work?
For this area, they mention Edge Impulse and TinyML. These are really important for running AI models efficiently on small, low-power devices right where the sensors are at the edge. They also integrate with industrial systems like SCADA, layering AI insights onto existing operational data. For the prediction models themselves, they use things like ARIMA, Prophet, LSTM, different statistical and machine learning techniques, good for time series data. And for managing all that incoming sensor data and visualizing it, they use tools like Prometheus and Grafana for dashboards, specialized time series databases like InfluxDB and TimescaleDB, and MQTT for efficient data transfer from sensors. Anomaly detection algorithms too, of course.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Away from pure AI, let's talk about their software development capabilities. The document says they handle full stack development, they like tackling tough jobs others might avoid, they deliver results, and they're good with deadlines. Sounds good, but they give some concrete examples too, like taking a business that's basically running on a tangle of Excel sheets and turning that into proper smart workflows and dashboards. How common is that Excel chaos problem?
Oh, it's incredibly common.
Yeah.
Way more than people might think. So many businesses start small, manage things with spreadsheets, and it just grows and
Yeah.
grows until you have dozens, maybe hundreds, all linked together.
Sounds fragile.
It is. It's error-prone, hard to audit, impossible to scale effectively. So P3G is stepping in to build a proper, tailored system with real-time data validation, audit trails, user permissions that replaces that chaos with something efficient and reliable. That's a huge value add.
They also mentioned saving an embedded project that was about to miss its deadline, something about an ESP32.
Right, the ESP32 is a popular microcontroller used in lots of IoT devices and embedded systems. The example suggests they jumped in, developed the needed control software quickly, and delivered it early, saving a tight production schedule. That shows agility and capability under pressure.
And the legacy code example. No documentation, no tests, the stuff nobody wants to touch.
Yeah, that's a classic headache. Code that's critical to the business, but the original developers are gone, nobody understands it, it's brittle. They explicitly say they help untangle, document, and fix this kind of time-critical code. That's a really valuable niche service. It requires serious skill and patience.
Their software development toolbox looks, well, enormous. Can you give us a flavor of the range without just listing everything?
Absolutely. It's incredibly broad. You see everything from high-performance languages like C++ and Rust, often used for demanding systems or embedded work, all the way through to the mainstays of web and application development. Java, Python, JavaScript, TypeScript, .NET C#, PHP, Ruby, Go. They cover the bases. And it's not just languages. They list major frameworks like Spring Boot for Java, PyTorch and TensorFlow for AML, Node.js, and React for JavaScript development. Databases too, SQL, NoSQL. Plus, crucially, they mention modern infrastructure tools. Docker, Kubernetes, cloud platforms like AWS, things like gRPC, MQTT, WebRTC for communication. It shows they can build and deploy complex, modern, scalable applications across the full stack. From embedded hardware communication protocols like CAN bus up to sophisticated cloud architectures and MLOps.
Right. Okay, finally, let's touch on their consulting services. What do they offer there?
It seems pretty complementary to their development work. They offer consulting on the business side, things like business models, UI UX design, then specific AI consulting, helping companies figure out how to actually use AI effectively. They also mention specific hardware platform expertise, Raspberry Pi, ESP32, but also more specialized AI accelerators like Halo, Accelera, Edge Cortex. And importantly, they actually do hardware development too.
So they can help design the whole system, not just the software.
Exactly. That consulting piece feels really key. It connects the deep technical work back to the business goals. They're not just coders, they're helping design the right solution and strategy, whether it's refining a user interface or mapping out an entire AI adoption plan.
Okay, one last thing before we wrap up. There's this really interesting word-of-mouth referrals bonus program. The material says it saves them money on things like Google Ads, and they pass those savings along. How does that actually work for someone listening?
Yeah, it's a neat model. It seems very win-win. They avoid spending big on advertising, and they use that saving to reward their network. So if you refer a new client to them, that client you referred gets a 10% discount on their project. Pretty significant.
And what about the person doing the referring?
They get rewarded too.
Yeah.
You, as the referring partner, receive a 10% thank you bonus based on the project value, and they make it clear this discount is only for word-of-mouth referrals. It's not a general promotion, which really encourages people who've had a good experience to spread the word. It builds this community based on trust and satisfaction, perfectly aligning with their whole model of guarantees and delivering results. It shows they value organic growth that comes from happy clients.
Right. So let's try and summarize the key takeaways here about P3G. We've got this core commitment to taking the risk off your shoulders, that 100% fixed pricing, the 100% money-back guarantee, and that lifetime bug warranty. Those are really standout promises. And you combine that with their deep expertise across the board in AI, whether it's smart generative stuff, precise vision AI, or predictive sensor systems, plus their broad software development skills from Excel chaos to legacy code rescue, and their strategic consulting. It really paints a picture of a company offering a unique way to tackle complex business problems, offering certainty and, well, peace of mind.
Absolutely. And, their slogan is apparently software for the moments that define you. Thinking about everything we've discussed, those strong guarantees, the detailed problem solving across AI and software, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? For you, the listener, how could that kind of approach actually shape or, yes, define those critical moments for your business? What pivotal challenges, maybe the ones keeping you up at night, could genuinely be transformed if you tackled them with this kind of a risk-removed, comprehensive approach? It certainly gives you something to think about regarding the real value of certainty.
I hope you did enjoy the presentation by our two lovely AI-generated hosts. And well, it's for me, it's, as I say, it's really incredible magic that we can create something like this. I did handcraft the slides myself, also using AI tools like Ideogram and others, and we definitely stand behind all of these promises: the fixed pricing guarantee, the 100% money-back guarantee, and the lifetime bug warranty. If you want to work with us, reach out to us at contact@pi3g.com or recommend someone to us who is looking for software development. As discussed, we are going to offer you a 10% share because we save on marketing budget, and the client also gets a discount, so a win-win. Let me know in the comments what you think of this presentation, and I will do a separate video over on our Business Breeze channel, which I'll link as well, showing you a bit more behind the scenes of how this magic was worked today. Have a great day. Remember to subscribe and like this video. Bye.